Something unusual is unfolding around the Cleveland Browns, and surprisingly, not many are talking about it loudly enough. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback with massive promise, was expected to spend time quietly learning, maybe riding the bench until his moment came. Experts claimed he wasn't ready. Scouts questioned his strength, speed, and poise, and several NFL teams barely even gave him a serious chance during the draft process. Assuming he was more hype than substance, many believed Shedeur was only on the radar because of his father, Deion "Primetime" Sanders, rather than his own ability. But then, in one game, everything flipped. Instead of being a development project, Shedeur Sanders stepped on the field and shocked the league. This wasn't just a rookie managing to stay afloat. This was a quarterback making seasoned defenders look unprepared. A player proving every critic wrong in real time. And the result? The entire NFL was forced to pay attention. Suddenly, those same franchises that ignored him are questioning themselves. And fans are wondering if the Browns quietly stole a star. The Browns face the Panthers in a preseason matchup, the kind of exhibition game most fans treat as background noise. Normally, people scroll through their phones or half-watch knowing these games rarely matter. But then, Shedeur Sanders jogged onto the field. From the very first snap, the energy shifted. He didn't look nervous. He didn't hesitate. He took control of the offense like a veteran who'd been leading NFL huddles for years. The first drive alone was enough to silence doubters. Sanders read the defense with calm composure, adjusted protections before the snap, and delivered throws with pinpoint accuracy. Blitz coming? He recognized it instantly and made the smart play. The pocket collapsing? He sidestepped pressure, reset his stance, and fired a strike downfield. Every move seemed intentional. Every decision looked calculated. By the time that opening drive ended, the Browns weren't just ahead on the scoreboard. They had possibly glimpsed their future. For most rookies, fans celebrate little flashes of potential. Maybe a deep throw, a lucky scramble, or a broken play that somehow works. But Shedeur's debut wasn't about luck or one-off highlights. It was about complete control. His poise in the pocket, his ability to read coverage, his calm under pressure. It all screamed experience far beyond his years. He wasn't rattled by defenders crashing in. He wasn't second-guessing himself. He was orchestrating drives like someone who already belonged at this level. And that's the part that stung for his critics. The NFL already counted him out. They assumed he'd be holding a clipboard, developing quietly while others carried the weight of the season. Instead, Shedeur immediately proved he's far more than a backup. This wasn't a kid overwhelmed by the moment. This was a quarterback showing why he should have been taken more seriously all along. Early on, the Carolina defense tried to rattle him. Pressure packages, disguised coverages, physical hits, all the typical tricks teams throw at rookies to see if they'll crack. But Sanders didn't blink. Instead, he picked them apart. Short throws with perfect touch. Sideline passes delivered with precision. Timing routes that looked effortless. He was reading defenders, manipulating them with his eyes, and creating opportunities most young quarterbacks wouldn't even recognize. On one play, Sanders fooled a defender so badly that by the time the ball was thrown, the defender was left chasing air. The crowd reacted immediately. This wasn't rookie luck. It was professional-level execution. The more Sanders thrived, the more the Panthers' defense unraveled. What started as confidence quickly turned into confusion and frustration. By halftime, their body language told the story. Heads down, shoulders slumped, no more trash talk. A rookie had completely stripped them of their swagger. And he wasn't even trying to showboat. He just did his job, calmly, methodically, brilliantly. There's a clear difference between playing not to fail and playing like a star who knows he's in command. Sanders chose the latter. No panicked footwork, no rush throws, no wide-eyed hesitation. From the opening snap, he looked like a quarterback who had been there before. That kind of unshakable calm can't be taught. Coaches can drill mechanics and study film endlessly, but that rare composure under pressure is something special, and Shedeur Sanders clearly has it. One particular play summed it up best. The pocket collapsed, defenders closing in fast. Instead of panicking, Sanders calmly slid forward, reset his feet, and delivered a laser between two defenders for a first down. The crowd erupted, not because it was flashy, but because it was flawless. This wasn't luck, it was rhythm, timing, and a deep understanding of the game, and it left no doubt. Shedeur Sanders was ready. The most telling part wasn't just Sanders' personal performance, it was how the Browns' offense responded to him. Receivers sharpened their routes. The offensive line blocked with more intensity. The huddle operated with focus and urgency. Veteran quarterbacks often talk about commanding the huddle, a leadership quality that usually takes years to develop. Yet Sanders had it instantly. His teammates weren't just playing alongside him, they were rallying around him. That's the kind of presence that changes a team's culture. The NFL has a long history of obsessing over combine drills and measurements while undervaluing the intangibles that truly win games: intelligence, leadership, and decision-making under pressure. Shedeur Sanders became the latest victim of that blind spot. Scouts labeled him a system quarterback. They claimed his success at Colorado came from flashy play calling and not his own ability. They nitpicked his mechanics, downplayed his stats, and ignored his ability to dissect defenses. And in the process, most teams passed on him. But one preseason game exposed the flaw in that logic, because while other quarterbacks with ideal measurables still struggled to adjust, Sanders stepped into his very first NFL snaps and looked like he belonged. Now, the same experts who doubted him are already backpedaling, praising him, hyping him up, pretending they always knew he had this talent. But fans remember who dismissed him. And Sanders himself, he's proving them wrong with every snap. The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation continues to raise eyebrows, and the silence from the front office only fuels more speculation. Shedeur Sanders remains sidelined. His minor injury still the official explanation, yet he hasn't missed a single team meeting or walkthrough. In fact, multiple insiders confirm that Sanders is actively participating in film sessions and strategy breakdowns as though he's preparing to start. If the injury were truly that limiting, why would he be kept in full uniform and fully engaged with the team? The bigger picture seems clear. The Browns are leaning heavily toward Dillon Gabriel. He's receiving consistent reps with the first-team offense and building chemistry with the receivers, something Sanders has been denied. Even more suspicious, reports say Gabriel has been taking extra sessions with the offensive coordinator after practice, a privilege typically reserved for established starters, not backups. Kevin Stefanski's comments haven't helped. Instead of giving clarity, he dances around questions, often repeating phrases like, "We'll evaluate day by day," or "We're making smart choices." That may sound reasonable at face value, but the lack of transparency is what concerns fans. Some believe Stefanski is deliberately shielding Gabriel from criticism while quietly transitioning the team toward him as the face of the franchise. It doesn't stop there. League insiders have started pointing out the double standard in how the Browns media team covers the two quarterbacks. Sanders' absence is mentioned repeatedly, but Gabriel's mistakes rarely surface in official reports. When Gabriel missed open receivers in scrimmages, there was no highlight package, no breakdown. By contrast, Sanders has been under the microscope since day one. Every throw analyzed, every move questioned. The narrative being built feels intentional. Gabriel is allowed room to grow, while Sanders is framed as fragile or unavailable. It's a strategy that could shift public perception before either quarterback even gets a true chance to prove themselves on the field. The tension inside the locker room hasn't gone unnoticed either. Several veterans reportedly remain loyal to Sanders, frustrated that his toughness and leadership are being overlooked. Others, however, are warming up to Gabriel's calm demeanor and clean mechanics. This quiet divide could grow into a bigger issue if the coaching staff doesn't address it directly. For now, the Browns insist Sanders' status is uncertain. But every snap Gabriel takes, every rep he commands, makes the picture clearer. The organization appears to be setting the stage for a long-term decision, using injury as the cover story.